When I think over this week, I really can't stop smiling. I love, love, love helping first-time buyers. And it's not only helping first-time buyers that are mortgage ready, the ones that have seen their property and they're about to jump in, but even more so, I love making a difference. And when I come across, and this is what happened this week, a group of people that are saving up their deposit and don't understand the mortgage process, I had the best time. Now, basically, let me know in the comments, what is the most difficult thing? Understanding all the mortgage jargon or knowing what to ask? Because I've said to quite a few people, and I hope this puts you at ease, but when I graduated from uni at 22, I bought same year. And that's a whole nother story, which I'll talk about another time. But I was absolutely clueless. Now, what I actually did was, I had the whole mindset and I was so committed to it. I didn't go out. I saved up every penny I had and then obviously put in the offer, bought a property. But I didn't understand about freehold and leasehold and service charge. I didn't understand that the reason why my property was as cheap as it was for certain reasons that I didn't have a clue about, And I've learned a lot along the way. And I suppose I bought at the right time because within sort of 18 to 24 months, it already doubled in value. And then 4 years later, when I decided that I didn't really want to live there anymore because I didn't do the proper research, it wasn't the nicest area, I was able to do what's called a let to buy, where you use the equity in the property to buy another place, which I moved into and rented that place out. But again, that's another story. But what I want to say is this week was it touched my heart is the best way to put it, because it really reiterated why I do what I do. Now, yes, it's great being a mortgage advisor and helping one-on-one, but what I really enjoy is when I get to speak to a group of first-time buyers. And because I love my subject so much, what one of them said was, half the questions they didn't know they should ask, I already answered them for them because I love talking about the subject. And ask anyone who knows me, I'm always talking about mortgages and mortgage solutions. And whenever I talk to a lender, I always say, what have you got that's quirky? And when the renter's mortgage came out, obviously I jumped on that. You've got the income boost, you've got the joint borrower sole proprietor, you've got shared ownership. There are so many different mortgages out there, and it's really, really important to understand them, as well as understanding how to get mortgage ready, which is why I've been doing this challenge. So basically, we're on day 23 of the Get Mortgage Ready challenge. Once I've got my 10,000 subscribers, I will make a series out of it. But at the moment, I'm just putting it on the front that it's part of the Get Mortgage Ready challenge, so you'll be able to follow it. But anybody who isn't following or subscribing, please do. I could do with the support, that would be great. But basically what I'm saying in a nutshell is, this is why I created the workshop, because the Get Mortgage Ready First Time Buyer Mortgage Workshop brings in everything. So sometimes, when I do a post and there's a lot of comments, every 10th comment is the same question that someone else has already asked. And it's like people aren't reading all the comments because there's just a lot of comments and it's hard to find the comments. So I thought, there is a lot of questions that people are asking over and over again. And yes, I do videos on it, but you don't always see the videos. So the workshop is basically, as you all know, I've been doing a lot of free content on TikTok for about a year, on YouTube for several years. And this is basically, and I've been obviously a mortgage advisor since 2020. So this encumbers everything, all the questions that first-time buyers have ever asked me, all the questions I get from my audience. I've made it into a workshop. And as I said, and also all the situations I've been in when a mortgage, when I've had to prepare a client so the mortgage doesn't get rejected. So there's a lot of work. And then there's sometimes I've spoken to a first time buyer and I've said, look, you need to do X, Y, and Z, come back in 3 months or come back in 6 months. If you learn all of this now while you're saving up for your deposit, while you're building up your credit, then when your time comes, there will be no delays. You'll be ready. You'll be mortgage ready. And that's what I like to do, get people mortgage ready. Sorry, this is a bit of a longer video than I normally do, but I just wanted people to understand why I do my workshops, because it's for you guys. It's for people who are 6 months, 12 months, 36 months away from buying their first property, and they just don't know what they should be asking, and they also, don't know about what's out there. I mean, sometimes people are asked the question, oh, I'm this age, I'm on this, can I get a mortgage? But unless you look at their credit commitment, you don't know. Some people will say, I've got a credit score of this, can I get a mortgage? But again, it's the debt to income ratio. You don't know how that affects it, credit utilization, all of this. So that is what my workshop will be doing. The beginning bit will be all the jargon explained. I'll also explain the whole buying process. And then the second half will be my favorite bit, which is all the quirky mortgages. So I'll explain how they all work, what criteria you need, what steps you need to take to work towards being eligible for those if you're not already eligible. And then the final bit will be the live Q&A, which I love. So I will put the details of the workshop in there. It is going to be at the end of the month, so I hope you can all join me. I will also be creating this afternoon, so I'll put that in the comments later on, a free guide. And this Get Mortgage Ready First Time Buyer Guide will be a combination of two things. One, a glossary of all the mortgage jargon that you should understand. And then the second part is a checklist of questions that you need to ask when you go to an estate agent, when you go to a mortgage advisor, and then ultimately when you go to the solicitor. So the three kind of stages, what questions you should be asking, what's important to know. So thanks everybody for your time, and keep on following my Get Mortgage Ready challenge.